Alright, in today's video I wanted to go over a couple topics that I feel can help you go from a player that's not so good to pretty good. Now, I feel like with these tips you can kind of go from anywhere, any rank really, and just improve, whether that's gold to plat, plat to diamond, or whatever it is. Now, I have a lot of people that ask me in my comment section, how do I improve as a player? How do I get my aim up? How do I get my right sensitivity? How do you warm up? How do you just improve a game sense and everything, like I mentioned, just in general. And I'm always kind of redirecting them to different videos, but I wanted to make a general video so I could just send people here and it will have all my tips on everything that I feel is necessary to improve as a player. So there's a couple topics I'm going to talk about today, such as gun skill, warming up, the sensitivity you should use or you should get used to, as well as just how you improve as a player. So the first one I'm going to start off with is game sense. Now, game sense is a generally broad topic because that is what requires you to play a lot to kind of learn from the mistakes and learn the angles that people are going to be on. But game sense also is more than just making mistakes and learning from them. It's also doing the right thing and knowing when to do it, such like default spots, where people are going to plant, where to C4, what to do in general. And that requires you to play more as well and just kind of learn from those. But the number one thing that I actually made a video on is drones. The best way to improve as a player overall is drone out every single thing you can. Set up flank drones for your teammates, set up flank drones for just anyone that, if you want someone to watch, or just set up drones in general and just drone out every single room, because there's a very big difference between high tier players and low tier players, and a lot of them, like mistakes that are made, can easily be prevented if you just drone out a room. Like you might come around a corner, get killed, and be like, oh, why is that guy laying on the floor? And I say you can avoid that if you just drone out the room, even if it's a stupid spot that people like to be like a rat and lay down. Trust me, if you just drone out, you will see a very big difference when it comes to that in general. Now, another thing I want to talk about with game sense is learning different angles and learning how people play and learning where to push. And the best way that I learned that myself is I learned that from just watching better players. Now, you can't really just take everything that they do, but what I do is I watch like good players, pro league players, I watch people stream. I kind of watch how they play and analyze what they do and watch how they push out a room, how they communicate with their team. And as you continue to watch these players that are obviously better than you or just higher tier players, you can kind of learn from like what pushes works and what pushes don't work, and kind of what angles to hold and how they are good, how they aren't good. And it honestly helped me improve a lot as a player. Like I watched a lot of Bolo, I watched Pangu, I watched Foxe and them stream all the time, because YouTube videos are very good, but those always show the highlights. So when I watch streamers and I watch people like that, you can kind of see the mistakes they make, and you kind of see, okay, that wouldn't work, so let me not do that. Or you can kind of see the angles that kind of don't make it to YouTube videos, and kind of just how people play it as like a raw player and just like raw gameplay. And personally, that's one of the best ways to help improve when it comes to game sense, because besides that, you kind of just have to play and make the mistakes yourself. So this kind of helps you a lot with that. At least that's how it helped me. Now, another way to see yourself improve as a player overall is warming up before you go into games. Now, I stress this in all of my tip videos. I say this all the time, but I'm kind of putting everything into this video so I can kind of just send people here when they have any questions. When it comes to warming up or how to improve your aim or how to improve your recoil, this is what I do, okay? So I go into a terrorist hunt. I usually put it on house, and I warm up my recoil before I play rank, before I go do anything. I'll probably go on like 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes before I play ranked with anyone, and I'll just go in and warm up my recoil, warm up my aim, warm up just everything in general to get better, so that way when I go into ranked, my aim is not shaky or my aim is not bad. Overall, I'm telling you, if you do this, you truly will see an improvement, because you'll win more gunfights, you'll be just way better than as if you didn't, because sometimes you play other games, and this game is very different from like any other game really, so like your aim can be all messed up as well. So this is like a number one thing, like I can't stress this enough, like just blast some music or something, just go with T-hunts, and just warm up your aim. Because truly, if you do this, like I said, you will see a big difference. Another way like that I do it on, you can do it on coastline too. You can even do it on that like one where you plant the bomb. I usually just do it on the regular casual one, so I can go up inside the bedroom and just like sit by the ammo crate and just practice my recoil control on the wall. You can do that too. That's what I do. But definitely before you play ranked, just make sure you warm up. You'll see a very big improvement. Now, when it comes to sensitivity, I have a lot of people always asking me what's the best sense to play on, what should I play on. Now, this is what I use in the live build right now. I know they have changed the senses with the new scopes that they added in, which I'm going to make a YouTube video on later on once the season comes out. But this is what I play on. I play on 35 vertical, 100 horizontal, 5 dead zone, and 100 ADS. Now, there is no right or wrong sensitivity at all. It is completely all preference. Now, the best way to find your sensitivity is to go into terrorist hunt, like I mentioned earlier, and just practice with it. put on a sense that you feel that you like. If you like a fast sense, which I do like because I like to be able to react to people faster. When I first started, I literally used to play on default sense, and I went straight to 100 because I liked it a lot, because I like to be able to react to people faster, even back when I played on Xbox. And just go into terror stunts and just warm up with that sensitivity. Even if you're not good with it at first, if you keep warming up with it, you're going to see improvements on it. And just like, if you want to change your sensitivity, just change it and just keep going to T-hunts. There's no right or wrong sensitivity at all. There's nothing too slow. It's all up to you. Nothing too fast. Like I said, it's all up to you. Sensitivity is a big major factor when it comes to just becoming a better player, because obviously that's how you aim, and that's how you improve on aiming, is if you have like a better sense. And that's just the best way that I noticed that I improved with sensitivity. Now, another huge thing that I noticed in between lower tier players and higher tier players, and you can even watch in Pro League, the communication in this game is key. So when you're going to start a round, the best thing that I do is I like to talk to my teammates about where we're going to push, what we're going to do, and whatever op I am, I know I'm assigned a certain role. So you see in this clip, I showed it in my other YouTube video, I go on my drone with a plan. I make sure I put my drone where I'm going to push. I don't just waste my prep phase drone either. I make sure I put it where I have plans to push. So I communicate with my team. I'm like, alright, on my cue, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to destroy the bandits on the wall. So you'll see I use this drone that I had from prep phase, so I still have an extra one, and I now know where this person is. I'm able to communicate with my team and say, hey, he's left side of pantry door, and I'm now going to go push him. Communication in this game is key with everything. Not only droning, just making callouts, who's going to plan, who's doing what. Overall, communication in this game will just make you a much better player. And I know sometimes people solo queue, and I understand that, and sucks, but that's another thing that comes in this game, is try and get into a 5-stack whenever you can. Because if you're on Xbox or PS4, I know you could join the communities that they have where you can like LFG, like, you know, look for the people, put in like, you know, plat 1 only, gold plus, like you can kind of section it off. And same with PC, they're kind of improving that like a lot better, because this game is not a game that you can generally solo queue and will always succeed in. Now I solo queue and I can succeed as well, but I also lose to obviously much better players where they have better communication, because a team with good communication is going to beat a team without communication, obviously, but especially in this game. Communication is key in this game, and that is a huge way to improve, is just work on your communication. Learn callouts. Go, if you look at the bottom right of the screen, it tells you what callout is what. There's also other callouts that you watch from other Pro League players and just other people, hear what they say. You just learn callouts and communicate. Literally let your team know, hey, I'm going to go on a flank cam, I'm going to watch this cam when you die. Or if you're in like a 1v2 situation, or if you plant the bomb down, make your call out. Tell your one teammate, hey, I'm watching this side, you watch that side. It completely takes away the confusion between of who's watching what, and you will see a big improvement on just like making rounds way smoother and just not having to worry about being in certain situations that you don't want to be in. Another huge thing when it comes to higher tier players is playing consistently. Now obviously not every game you can play well, but the way to play more consistently, like more often, is honestly you kind of have to not really put your ego aside, but you kind of have to look at and criticize yourself as you're playing the game. So if you notice that you're not doing well and you're roaming, switch it up. Go and sit in sight and have someone else roam. And it goes both ways. So if you're sitting in sight and you're not doing well, or your teammates who are roaming aren't doing well, switch it up. You have to be able to criticize yourself and kind of learn from your mistakes as you play, and that's the best way that you'll see yourself improve as a player as you continue to play, is constantly criticizing yourself. As much as I want to be the best player in the world, I have to realize what I'm doing wrong and when I'm doing wrong, and kind of make adjustments to learn how I can improve as a player as I'm playing. That's how I notice I play more consistently. If I notice I'm dying too quickly, or if I'm not being too aggressive, I switch it up completely. Now, if you're doing bad, what I notice a lot, I like to do a lot, is I slow it down a lot. I make sure I drone out literally every single corner. I'm constantly checking corners, because sometimes I'll get too aggressive, and that's just how it works sometimes. Sometimes I gain too much confidence and I have to slow down. So that's what I recommend for anyone who's lower tier, or anyone who's not doing well, or anyone even at higher tier. Just slow it down when you're playing, because just you need to use your drone and just refocus on, okay, hold on, I'm going to drone out everything. Like literally play it like you're playing for like $1 million. Just like take it very slow and drone out everything. Just completely change up your play styles, because that's the best way that you'll see yourself improve, is if you can be a versatile player and change between a roaming person, you know, some anchoring. It's really just like as versatile as you can be, so you're not just like relying on one role. Now overall, from everything from this video to learn is, number 1, warm up before you play. Make sure you warm up, go into T-hunts to warm up your recoil, warm up your aim. Just warm up before you play, because you will see a big difference in how you play and how consistent you play. Number 2, work on your game sense. Now, the best way to work on your game sense is obviously play and learn from your mistakes. But another way, like I mentioned, watch Twitch, check better people on Twitch, watch them on YouTube, and just see where they push and see what works and see what doesn't work, and kind of learn how they communicate in different callouts. Number 3, find your sense. So the best way to find your sense is go on something that you feel that you like, and then just play T-hunts with it. Just warm up with it, and just blast the music and listen, and just keep getting better with your sense, and you'll see a big improvement. Now, number 4, communicate with your team. Now, like I said, you can watch other pro players and see how they communicate, but make sure you're always communicating with your team and always using your drones, like I said, and make sure that you use your drone and go in with a plan before you play any round. Make sure that you drone in and where you're going to go, and make sure you leave that prep drone right wherever you want to go, and just make sure you're always using it. Make sure you're always communicating with your team and letting people know what you're doing, what you're watching, and you will see a big improvement as well. And the last final thing I was talking about was playing consistent. Now, the best way to play consistent, like I mentioned, is to just make sure you're constantly criticizing yourself and changing up your play style. You will notice yourself play a lot better if you can kind of change roles and do that yourself manually. If you're not doing good one way, change it up and do it another way. Whether that's anchoring or roaming, whatever it is, just that is the best way to improve and play more consistent. And obviously make sure you have a positive mindset. Play with good people that are positive and not always putting you down, because mindset is everything in this game. But overall, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and just let me know what other type of videos you want, like any other type of tip videos, or obviously regular highlight videos too that I'm going to always be posting, but just any tip videos that you think that I missed on or anything, just let me know down below in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Peace.